Hello and welcome everybody to Game 4 from this best of 5 between Monchi and mTwDIMAGA from the Gigabyte tournament. Spawning here in the top right position as the red Zerg, we have Mortal Teamwork's mTwDIMAGA. Spawning here in the bottom left position as the green Protoss, we have Monchi. Now, so far it's been a pretty awesome series. So far we saw Monchi able to take down mTwDIMAGA in games 1 and 2 by going for just a big 2-base constant attacking style that beat out mTwDIMAGA's constant economic and expanding style, and was just able to straight up beat mTwDIMAGA in games 1 and 2. Game 3, however, mTwDIMAGA was finally able to catch his stride and get up to that point where he was just expanding and macroing like a boss. Tons of roaches, tons of hydras, tons of zerglings, able to take his opponent out as he expanded to his third base. And so now here on Crevasse in game 4, we're going to see if mTwDIMAGA can't take another win. Now keep in mind, if Monchi is able to take this game, then he is going to be able to take this entire best of 5. He is currently up 2-1 in this series, so mTwDIMAGA has a lot of pressure on him to take this game. Now let's talk a little bit about Crevasse. This is a map that has been around in the GSL, and it's been around for quite a while. Some recent changes to this map is that this gas geyser here that mTwDIMAGA just took used to be, here we go. There we go. This expansion, at this expansion that is right within your base here, then this rich Vespene geyser used to be a regular Vespene geyser, but they have recently, well, I guess at the beginning of this year, they changed it so that this was now a rich Vespene geyser, and this small expansion that sits out here in the middle of the map has now been changed so that this Vespene geyser is actually a regular. This actually used to be the rich Vespene geyser on the map, but as you can see, they have now swapped that around so that the in-base natural expansion, kind of mini expansion, now has that rich Vespene geyser, and that is exactly the first Vespene geyser that mTwDIMAGA is going to be taking, so he'll be getting a little bit of a gas boost there, and he's only going to be mining off of 1 gas. So a little bit of smart play there from mTwDIMAGA. In the meantime, mTwDIMAGA is now sending out a couple of lings. Looks like they are going to be able to pick off this probe. Yep, looks like they are going to be able to get that probe. And in the base of Monchi, we can see that he has thrown down a forge at the front of his base. Looks like he's gone for something kind of like a forge fast expand. It's kind of like a forge fast expand in that, well, he's thrown down his forge and he's fast expanding, but typically the forge fast expand goes down at the natural expansion. But as we can see here, that because this little mini expansion is within the main base, he's just going to forge off his forge and cannon off the front of his main base. So looks like we do have a zealot now coming up here for Monchi. I'm going to be so interested to see what kind of tech we're going for. He is hiding a pylon here in the back of the base, and yes, there we do see 2 Stargates going down right now for Monchi. Looks like Monchi's going to be going for an early Void Ray attack here. This is what took mTwDIMAGA out in game 2, I want to say. Wait, hold on. No, wait, game 3, he did go for those Void Rays, but mTwDIMAGA was able to defend and take out his opponent on that base. I'm actually going to check and confirm that because I want to be sure that I was 100% right. No, that was the game where Monchi actually won. Monchi actually won with those Void Rays. That was right. That was where mTwDIMAGA just kept going for that expansion and everything on game 2 on Terminus. The last game, game 3, was of course on Shakuras Plateau, where mTwDIMAGA pretty much just sat on his side of the base, macroed like a boss, and just pushed with a lot of hydras and roaches. Now it looks like we are going to be seeing a similar style here from mTwDIMAGA, as he has taken that quick third, is now throwing down that roach warren and that evolution chamber. But is he going to have enough spore crawlers up in time to be able to handle this? Looks like Monchi is just now chrono boosting out these 2 Void Rays, and he's going to be chrono boosting out those Void Rays 2 at a time. That is going to be very, very, very strong and very hard to deal with for mTwDIMAGA. Did Monchi actually scout this third base? No, this third base was not scouted by Monchi. This is a little bit dangerous of a third base to take. There is a very, very wide high ground expansion here, especially when you're going against Terran opponents. Terrans will always use this to their advantage. They'll just plant siege tanks up on this high ground where you have no vision and just start to push up with small groups of Marines and then pull back to the defense of their siege tanks. Can be very, very, very strong as Terran. Looks like on the Harvester tab right now, we can see that mTwDIMAGA is actually ahead in Harvesters right now, 46-41. This natural expansion is pretty well saturated at this point. There are 6 mineral patches here, and it looks like he's got about 12 drones mining on these mineral patches, so that is the bare minimum for being saturated there at that base. Of course, full saturation is 3 drones per patch. The bare minimum saturation you want is 2 drones per mineral patch. So typically, a base will have 8 patches of minerals, so that you want 2 on each. And that means that they're going to perfectly switch back and forth and trade off as they mine. But just because you lose a little bit of time as they move back and forth, they generally say you want more than 2 on each patch, but less than 3 on every single patch. So generally around 20 harvesters is generally considered to be a good level of saturation. Now, we do have 4 Void Rays currently moving across the map right now to the expansion of Dimaga. Dimaga just now getting up Spore Crawlers in time to be able to deal with this. Hydralisks are up right now. 6 Hydralisks currently on the way, and it looks like Dimaga, wow, is actually going to be able to defend this, not having... Oh, wait, he actually did manage to get in there with an Overlord and see that go down. Sorry, I missed that, guys. I didn't actually see that Overlord get in there. Looks like he does know, though, about these Void Rays. I was spending way too much time talking about the saturation on bases, and in the meantime, I missed out on something critical. Definitely not the best move there by me. So, we can see that Dimaga now throwing down a lot of Spore Crawlers, getting lots of Hydralisks up right now. Currently, the Hydralisk count is up at 8 Hydralisks. That is very, very good to be able to deal with these 4 Void Rays. Hydralisks absolutely smash through Void Rays as long as you don't let them get fully charged up. And we can see that a lot of Overlords are once again being kept nice and safe over here by these Spore Crawlers. It looks like monchi's going to continue to poke and prod away with these Void Rays. Currently, the Void Ray count is currently up at 6. He's got a hugely high Void Ray count, but oh no, looks like Dimaga is going to be able to catch all these Void Rays in a fungal growth. In the meantime, all the Hydralisks are going to be able to move in and clean up all those Void Rays. Beautiful, beautiful play there by Dimaga. Absolutely just brilliant play, really. Oh my goodness, so good there by Dimaga, forcing away the Void Rays here with the Queens, and then coming in behind with the Hydralisks and the Infestors to be able to clean them up and pin them in position. Wow. Such good play there from Dimaga. Now, we do see monchi going for a bit of an expansion here. If we check out that harvester count, he has managed to actually get ahead of Dimaga in that harvester count, currently sitting at 60 to 55 harvesters. That is, of course, because Zergs, when they're making army units, they can't be making harvesters. So, that Dimaga was delayed on making a lot of workers there for a while, but as we can see, he has managed to defend, and he is starting to get this 3rd saturated, starting to produce more drones, 6 more drones on that production tab right now. Gonna most likely see him surpass monchi in that harvester count very, very soon. Now, in terms of upgrades, we do have a double evolution chamber around here somewhere. There it is. Double evolution chamber there from Dimaga. Looks like he's going to be getting that +2 carapace very soon. +1 melee missile attacks is currently on the way. Upgrading that grooved spines for Hydralisks. That is the Hydralisk range upgrade. That will allow the Hydralisks to shoot farther. Definitely a good upgrade to have when you're going with a lot of Hydralisks to be able to deal with this big of an air pressure from monchi, and monchi now just transitioning into, looks like, heavy gateway units right now. We currently see 6 gateways up right now. A robotics facility is up. It is producing a Colossus. Does he have that extended thermal lance upgrade yet? No, he does not yet have that extended thermal lance. Needs to be getting that as soon as possible. And wow, actually the energy on this Nexus getting a little bit high there. Monchi neglecting all the energy on his Nexi there. Definitely needs to be spending some of that if he's going to want to be able to keep up with the explosive macro here of Dimaga, just because Dimaga is now fully saturated on 3 bases and is now just macroing like crazy. Tons of lings currently on the production tab. Upgrades going down all over the place, and there we go. Extended thermal lance now coming down for monchi, and he's still chrono boosting. 2 actually robo facilities are out right now. Didn't realize 2 are out right now. He's going to be getting double Colossi. This is going to be very, very strong against the ground forces of Dimaga. Twilight Council now coming up right now, as well as more gateways. The gateway count is actually getting ridiculously high here for monchi. Looks like currently up to 8 gateways right now, and looks like Dimaga looking to be a little bit aggressive there, able to pick off both those Void Rays sitting in the middle of the map and take these Xel'Naga watchtowers, get a little bit of map control as he takes his 4th base, currently macroing like crazy, currently sitting at 140 food to the 150 food now to the 139 food of monchi. Dimaga needs to attack soon. Of course, monchi is going to be soon approaching that 175 food mark, which is definitely the deadly spot for Protoss to be. Once Protoss gets to about that 175 food mark, they are absolutely deadly, and Dimaga, with the brilliant timing here, is going to be going for a big attack here, it looks like, before monchi is able to get up to that 170 food mark, and it looks like he's sending out the Infestors out in front to try to take a few hits there. Beautiful move there by Dimaga as he sends a 1 Infested Terran there to take the hits of a lot of those units, as now a lot of Lings and Hydras are moving in to deal damage, but beautiful force heals there going down by monchi, able to stop all those forces from dealing too much damage, and these Colossus doing absolute ridiculous amount of damage. Rank Instructor, rank Master Colossus right now with the 16 kills. Holy cow, that was a brilliant defense there by monchi. But Dimaga still continuing to macro more units. Looks like he's going to be sacrificing those Hydralisks and leaving them to die. Hydralisks are, of course, probably one of the slowest units in the game, so definitely trying to pull them back would definitely be futile, just because these Stalkers and Colossus would be able to chase them down and kill them easily. In the meantime, that push has left room for Dimaga to start getting that 4th expansion up. He is now getting that 4th base saturated, or maybe not. Looks like on the production tab we can see that there's actually a lot of Zerglings now going down and more Infestors coming up. +1 melee attack upgrades as well as +2 missile attacks now coming up for Dimaga. There we go. There are the drones I was expecting from Dimaga. Now drones on the production tab coming out. Remember that this expansion that he's taking isn't a full expansion. This is a bit smaller of an expansion, but it looks like monchi now getting very aggressive here. Spire just now coming up for Dimaga. Not going to be up early enough to be able to get up some Corruptors to be able to deal with this force. He's going to need to be very careful about how he controls this, if he's going to want to be able to deal with this force here from monchi. In the base of monchi right now, we currently do have blink upgrades for those Stalkers, so it looks like he's going to be macroing a little bit heavier on those Stalker sides. +2 attack, or +3 ground weapons coming up right now for monchi right now. Definitely getting up some very, very strong units there. Going to be able to deal a lot of damage to the ground forces of Dimaga. Starting to take that 4th expansion of his own. This is going to mean that Dimaga is going to need to be taking another expansion here pretty quick. And for the first time, I am so proud of Dimaga. Look, he's getting his creep spread out across the map. Absolutely love that there from Dimaga. That is exactly what he needs to be doing if he's going to want to be able to win. And holy Infestor Batman, holy cow, who does Dimaga think he is? He thinks he's Destiny at this point. Holy crap. That is 18 Infestors currently out on the map here for Dimaga, and that is a ton. 21, actually. 21. I'm not even selecting them all right now. There are more on the map here somewhere. 21 Infestors currently out for Dimaga. That is a ridiculously high Infestor count, and it looks like he's going to be getting that Neural Parasite upgrade. Now, again, this is post-patch 1.4, so he's not going to be able to Neural Parasite these Colossi from a distance. Neural Parasite, for those of you that don't know, is, of course, the mind control ability of these Infestors. They just extend this little arm there and are able to mind control units temporarily and take over those units. But the range of that spell was nerfed just the other day in patch 1.4, so he's not going to be able to quite get those Colossi. He will be in range of these Stalkers when he applies that Neural Parasite, which is definitely a dangerous move, as monchi can then just target down all the Infestors, and definitely could be dangerous there for Dimaga, so I will be interested to see how Dimaga is going to play this out. The Corruptor count finally starting to get a little bit higher, as looks like Dimaga is now going to be trying to macro up some of those Corruptors. Do we have Hive Tech yet? No, we don't have any Hive Tech yet coming down from Dimaga. Late game Zerg versus Protoss, definitely always a good option to go for Broodlords in the late game. And there we go. Yeah, we do now see the Hive Tech coming down for Dimaga. Definitely going to be seeing most likely some Greater Spire action coming here from Dimaga as he starts to get up those Broodlords. Double expand now going down for Dimaga, but there's a big push now coming across the map here from monchi, as monchi's now moving out with a big force of Stalkers, Corruptors, and holy cow, Corruptors moving in, trying to deal damage, almost taking out that Colossus in one hit. Lots of infested Terrans going down right now to try to absorb some of the damage from those Stalkers and those Colossus, as all the Corruptors come in to try to deal some damage here. The forces of Dimaga coming in from the back right now, trying to surround these units. Lots of infested Terran Marines going down, lots of infested Terran Marines dying quite quickly, but of course those infested Terran Marines are free, and they are now pushing in and dealing a lot of damage, taking out a lot of these Stalkers right now, and doing quite well. Looks like Dimaga is going to be able to hold off this big attack, and monchi now being forced to pull back and macro up some more forces here. More gateways going down right now for monchi on the production tab. We can see another hatchery here going down for Dimaga. He's feeling so confident that he just held off that attack so strongly that he's now going to actually be taking another hatchery here. So it looks like Dimaga just taking hatcheries all over the map, and now continuing to macro like a boss, sitting at 100 and 200 food right now to the 160 food of monchi. Looks like he's going to be getting very aggressive here. Let's check out that Harvester tab. Monchi currently sitting at 67 Harvesters to the 62 Harvesters of Dimaga. Looks like he's going to be taking down this Destructible Rocks and getting ready to expand, but I don't think Dimaga is going to let it happen, as he is now maxed and needs to start just brutally just throwing units at his opponent and trying to wear down monchi as best as he can. And looks like he is now taking this middle of the map position, going to be very, very strong, and it looks like we are now seeing the move out here from Dimaga, but monchi just now getting maxed, sitting at 192 192 food to the 170 food of DIMAGA. The food of DIMAGA is dropping so quickly to these these Colossi. These Colossi are doing a lot of damage, but these Corruptors burning through all those forces of monchi and able to take out all those Corruptors. In the meantime, lots of infested Terrans now going down here for DIMAGA, dealing a lot of damage to these Stalkers. Stalkers trying to blink forward and try to snipe off all those Infestors. Infestors are falling rather fast, but the forces of DIMAGA are quickly being replenished as we see 42 Zerglings, currently 64 Zerglings currently on the production tab here for DIMAGA. 4 Roaches on the way, Adrenal Glands coming up. That is the Zergling attack speed upgrade. They are going to be able to attack 20% faster with that upgrade, plus 3 melee attack upgrades, and Greater Spire currently on the way for DIMAGA. Whew! Now, excuse me for a moment while I take a break on my breath, because holy cow, my throat is going to be killing me after that exchange. Holy cow, that was a big exchange there from DIMAGA. DIMAGA continuing to macro up a ton of Zerglings. This is an actually interesting move here by DIMAGA. DIMAGA is just relying on the fact that he sat maxed for a little while and continued to inject all his hatcheries and has so much idle larva sitting around that he can max super quickly. Max. He can doubly max, super max. Lots of Broodlords now coming down here for DIMAGA. We see 8 Broodlords currently morphing in the middle of the map. Soon he's going to start to be able to push out with those. And a Mothership coming out right now for monchi. Interesting move here from monchi. This is definitely a smart play, considering the fact that DIMAGA is going for this mass Zergling style. The Mothership is going to be able to throw down a Vortex, which is basically just like a big black hole that sucks in all the units, even his own around. He's going to be able to suck in a lot of units there. And monchi now blinking back. The Mothership now coming in. All these forces from monchi are all cloaked right now because of that Mothership, which is right there. Will he be able to deal too much damage there? He's going to need to be able to get some detection up here if he's going to want to be able to deal with this. Do we have an Overseer? Yeah, there we go. We have 2 Overseers currently on the way for DIMAGA. Looks like he's now going to be pulling back until he can deal with all these invisible units here from monchi. Monchi now pushing up with these Stalkers. Looks like that Mothership now coming in to cloak all those units, and the forces of monchi pulling back to that cloak of that Mothership. All these Corruptors currently focusing down that Mothership, going down rather quickly. That Mothership is going down. No Vortex was able to go down there, and now the forces of DIMAGA with the Broodlords in the back are destroying the forces of monchi, currently sitting at 167 food to the 99 food of monchi. DIMAGA now in an absolutely fantastic position, transferring drones to all these other expansions as he runs out. And there we go. There's the GG from monchi. It is now 2-2 in this best of 5. We are going to be going into game 5 right now, ladies and gentlemen, to see who is going to take this best of 5. Things are heating up. Don't go anywhere. Stick with me for game 5.